Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of The Bearded Buck. We have a special one for you guys this week as we head on our annual turkey tour. To start things off, we are heading down to the swamplands of America. And no, I'm not talking about DC. We're headed down to Florida to hunt with our good buddy, Jeff Buds. From there, we'll be packing up the truck, heading out to Virginia to chase some longbears with our good friend, Ron Kendra. And finally, to wrap things up this week, we'll be going all the way out to Kansas to hunt with our good friends Dan Thurston from Drury Outdoors and the one and only David Hale, aka Bunch. So we've got a lot going on this week, and if there's one thing I can guarantee, there's going to be a lot of turkeys dying. So if you're some hippie or a PETA supporter, go ahead and do us all a favor and change that channel right now. And as for the rest of you, let's get to some turkey hunting.
It's still 16 degrees here in Pennsylvania.
Well, when you guys are suffering,
We're going to Florida. He thinks he has to wear shorts in Pennsylvania when it's 16
well, when we
degrees
get
out.
there, you're suffering because it's 85 degrees out.
I'll be all right.
You'll be the stupid one.
So to kick off this turkey tour, our first stop is down in the swampy wilderness of Central Florida. We're going down there to hunt with our good buddy Jeff Buds. Jeff's got a lot of land with a ton of birds for us to hunt, so we should be in for a great week. Also joining us on this hunt are the Sharp brothers. Neither Justin or I have ever killed an Osceola turkey before, and that is the only bird missing for us to complete our Grand Slams. The only issue we're running into this week is that the weather forecast is calling for some unseasonably cold temperatures, which could have a negative impact on how these birds respond to calls, especially this early in the season.
Man, it feels good to be back at it. The first turkey under 21 season. We're down here in Florida, and man, it feels good. We got in camp late last night, so we had to come in blind this morning. Got in here, got all set up. We're hearing birds left and right of us. We're in the middle of a beautiful pasture here with some big roosting trees out in front of us here. Austin is probably up 2 miles on the other side of this ranch, going for his first Osceola and to finish his slam, so I'm rooting for him. And his Sharp boys are probably an hour south of us, so man, the Bearded Buck crew is excited to be back in the turkey woods and ready to get this season started. See him coming. 2 big boys. Oh yeah. Hey, I see one struck there, right? Yeah. Just gonna follow those hands they have, though, I think.
Well, that first morning here in Florida turned out to be pretty slow for us. I had those couple of birds gobbling and strutting off to my right, but they had zero interest in coming to our decoys. Meanwhile, where Austin was at, he had a couple birds gobbling around him, but all that came in was a lone hen. And as for the Sharps, they didn't see a single bird or hear a bird all morning. So for the late morning / afternoon, Austin and I are deciding to go run and gun a while the Sharps decide just to stay put in their ground blind.
We got gobblers. Kind of working their way this way. Yeah.
That is a flop on opening day. First morning here in Florida. That's my first Osceola ever. It is flopping right there on the ground. Man, look at that. Opening day did not disappoint. First Osceola ever. Came right into the decoy. You know, they weren't really talking, so there wasn't any strutting or anything going on. Come down here in Florida, it's sunny and warm, and you kind of expect them to just be sounding off like crazy. But for whatever reason today, it was quiet. But those three came in, a little bit of calling to get their attention. They came right at that decoy. And here we are, sitting behind my first Osceola ever. See if we can't keep this going.
For more Bearded Buck action after the show, make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
He's strutting in the tree. There we go. Oh, here come the toms. Dang it, they're gonna walk off with those hens. Are you kidding me? Can you believe this? Well, that sucks.
Well, you know what they say, roosted isn't always roasted, and that was the case. It's the second morning of our 2-day hunt down here in Florida for the Osceola turkey, and these things are kicking our butts. Those two toms that we were set up on came down off the roost and walked out of our lives with those hens. As for Dad, he didn't hear a single gobble that morning, so now we're down to just the rest of the day to try to figure these things out. We spent the rest of the morning and most of the afternoon running and gunning, just trying to strike up a gobble, but these birds were just not having it. So in a last-ditch effort, Dad and I went where we've been seeing these birds roost in hopes of catching them on their way back through. And just as the sun was starting to set, I had two toms sneak in and come out of nowhere.
There's a gobbler right here, super close, right to the left. They're gonna walk right in front of us. I'm gonna shoot the front one.
So we've been at it for 2 solid days. It seems like we've been here for a week. These birds have been driving us insane. And all of a sudden we hear bang, bang. I don't know what he got. I know I can see down there he has one bird. I don't know if he got 2 birds or he shot twice at one bird. But just like that, Austin's got his Grand Slam finished. I'm getting down there.
Doubled up. Oh, you'll look your first ever and your second. Slam is complete. Oh, I love it, man. Look at the hook.
That's a good bird there, though.
Heck yeah, man. Look at those hooks. Wow.
2 of the strangest days of turkey hunting that I've ever had. You know, talking to, we have some friends down here hunting in Florida too, and they were dealing with the same stuff. I don't know, last week it was 90 degrees, so we were dealing with 30 degree temperature drop, and I guess it must affect the birds that much. But awesome trip down here in Florida, and this is just the beginning of our turkey tour. This segment is brought to you by Vortex Optics.
kidding me?
Well, rolling ahead with our turkey tour, we are now off to Virginia to meet up with our good buddy, Ron Kendra. Ron has some beautiful properties that he has access to hunt, and the turkey sign on them is just insane. Ron has been hunting turkeys here for years, and he always has incredible seasons. His turkey population is among the most abundant we've ever seen. Austin, unfortunately, isn't able to make it out here on this hunt, so we had to call in Plan B, or in this case, Plan C, and that is Cud. Now, a little something you might not know about Cud is that it's been about 10 years since Cud has killed a turkey. So even though we're calling in a backup, we're not expecting all that much from him. After we met up with Ron, he took us around, showed us his property and where we'll be hunting these turkeys over the next couple days. So that next morning, we went out and heard birds all over the place. I mean, it was just like how Ron described it. The place was just loaded with turkeys, but unfortunately, we just weren't able to get one to come into range. So for the next morning, we went out to the same farm since we know there's a bunch of birds in the area and just hoped things would turn out different for us. And while I didn't have much action around me, Cud and Ron had a bird fired up on the roost and they had him coming in on a string.
Job. The streak's broken. I got the monkey off my back in Virginia. I don't know how many really it's been. I think it's 6. J-Rod would say 10. But it's definitely a long time. Awesome. Great job. Second day.
Well, we might as well celebrate and go to Perkins.
Oh, breakfast, baby. On me.
So Ron invited us down to Virginia. We sat here yesterday morning, heard a lot of turkeys, decided we would come back in today again, same spot. And we had a turkey gobbling behind us 50 yards away. I mean, he had to be close. If I can hear him, he's close. He was gobbling, and I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better. The next thing you know, he flew down and basically come right out in front of us. We weren't sure if he was gonna come in to the decoy, and it felt like I held the gun up for about 10 minutes, and finally you guys said, take him, and here he is. So, first turkey in Virginia, first turkey in a long time. We really appreciate you having us down here, Ron. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun so far. A lot of laughs.
Well, as it turns out, a blind squirrel can find a nut. We couldn't be happier for you, Cud, and we couldn't thank Ron Kendra enough for having us out to hunt his farms with him. Even though I'm leaving here without a bird, I still had a great time hunting with Ron, and I look forward to hunting with him again in the future.
Here at the Bearded Buck, we are all about habitat improvement. Whether it be for deer or turkey, we strive to leave the land in a better way in which we found it. So much that we have an entire platform dedicated to the cause called The Off-Season TV. If you're interested in habitat improvement, head over to our socials at The Off-Season TV to learn more.
So we've had some birds flopping already for the Bearded Buck crew, Florida, Virginia. J-Rod didn't put any birds on the ground, but we've just landed in Kansas City, got the rental car all packed up. We got about a 2-hour drive to get to the Lazy D. And we left Pennsylvania with cold, rainy weather, and we've landed in Kansas with cold, rainy weather. Well, wrapping up this week's leg of the turkey tour is our trip out to Kansas to hunt with our good friends Dan Thurston and David Hale, aka Bunch. It's been years since I've made my way out to hunt with him in Kansas, and that's probably because the last time I was here was a complete disaster. Dan put me on so many turkeys, and for some reason, I just wasn't able to get it done. Kind of like how my season's been going so far this year. But to be going back out to Kansas with these guys should be a blast. So we arrive at camp and meet up with the guys before Bunch and I head out to do some owl hooting to see if we can't locate some birds for first thing in the morning.
The weather's been really unpredictable. I don't get depressed by not hearing a bird gobble at an owl hoot. It's great when they do, but if not, the birds are still here. We know the area. If they answer, it's a bonus, obviously. We know where to go in the morning, but they're still here. They're just not cooperating right now.
Well, even though we weren't able to get any birds to respond to our owl hoots, we still have a pretty good idea where these birds should be in the morning. So we get all set up in the blind that next morning, and just as the sun starts to come up, we hear birds gobbling in every direction.
Our first sit in Kansas is off to a great start. Bunch has about 3 different birds working down along this tree line, maybe one at the bottom. They are firing up this morning. Now we just need to pitch down. He's right here already. That's a hen. No, that's a gobbler. Is it? Okay, here they come.
Oh, he's running, he's running, he's running. Oh my, hold on. You might want to get up.
You good, Mike? Can you believe this?
I'm telling you.
Can you believe this just happened, Bunch?
Absolute head taker.
What a start to our Kansas trip. I can't believe this, you know. I've been sitting back watching guys shoot birds in Florida and in Virginia, enjoying it. I got to see Austin shoot his first 2 Osceolas. Got to see Ron take his first bird in 7 years. The curse is lifted in Kansas.
I've never seen anything. You took his whole cone off.
You know, we're hunting out here in Kansas. Dan Thurston's farm. Dan gave us a call. Bunch and I said, hey, why don't you guys come out this year? And you know, we always say it's about so much more than a trigger pull. And coming out here, it was going to be just that. Spending time with Bunch and Dan and Bunch's brother, sitting around the farm, doing some fishing, cooking up some good food in the Traeger. The hunting was going to be a bonus. You know, we're on our way to Nebraska to hunt a little bit, and a stop off here in Kansas was just what the doctor ordered.
Well, what a great feeling it was for me to finally break the ice this turkey season. After we killed that bird, we started to get some extra footage and some pictures, and right in the middle of doing that, we heard a bird go off right in the distance. But he didn't sound that far away, so Bunch went ahead and threw out a couple calls, and that bird hammered right back.
Oh yeah.
That's way out that way.
Well, let's get in the blind and kill him.
Yeah. Okay, we got another bird coming up out. I think that might be him.
Yep, it is.
It is, it is. Oh yeah.
Right on the tree line.
Oh, there he comes.
There he goes.
Here he comes. Come on. No. That was just beautiful.
We just doubled up in Kansas.
Oh, wow.
That's another good set of spurs, man.
straight out.
Yeah.
Look at the rope on him.
Oh man, what a great hunt.
Well, I certainly don't know if you can script a better hunt than we had this morning. Who would have thought 2 birds?
I was just so happy to be along your hunt, and then we turned around. We were about ready to leave. We were ready to throw your bird over, get in the vehicle,
Go find another one.
run and gun, and all of a sudden we hear that distant gobble.
Man, it's been a pleasure. This whole 2-hour hunt we did. Sometimes you need them to go like this, though. What a picture-perfect way for us to end our first leg of the turkey tour. Doubling up with Bunch out here in Kansas was like a dream come true. We can't thank Dan Thurston and his son Cody and the rest of his family enough for having us out here to hunt turkeys on his farm. And the best part is that our turkey season is just getting started. Next week, we're headed off on our second leg of the turkey tour, which takes us out to the Cornhusker State, Nebraska. So if you like this episode and want to see more turkeys die, make sure you tune in. Hey, what's up? How are you doing down there, Mike? I suck at turkey hunting.
If somebody loves